you see what happened. Selling was not easy.
Yes.
And it was software. I was introducing software in the market. It was not easy. So it's not like I was closing the numbers. But what I was doing, I was reporting consistently on the truth about the market. I did not misrepresent. I just said as it is. If I went and met a customer in Tanzania, in Uganda, in Kenya, I would go and tell them, this is where we are, this is what is needed, this is the support I need.
So there's some advice that you were given that I just want to ask. I find that advice brilliant. So you're making 58,000. Can you tell me your first car?
It was a Carina. It was a Toyota Carina. Yeah, it was 720,000.
That's now, here's the wise thing, the advice that you are given. First of all, you're not buying a Benz.
No.
But she said that 58,000 should cover service. It should cover, I think she even said fuel.
Yes, fuel, yes. All of that.
And the loan itself of the car.
Correct.
That was some brilliant advice that she gave you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she said that then she also realized that I was a bit clueless in terms of handling money. And this, because you bring your payslip as evidence of where you are working to see if they lied or all those things. So she had the info to show that I'm coming from 54,000 to this amount of money. So immediately in her eyes, I didn't even know, she just saw trouble. So the good thing is, at least the basic bit of financial and not revering money too much
had been fixed,
had been taught to me. So I didn't have the need to go and splash and do big things. In fact, I had housemates, yes. I had a housemate still. I didn't feel the need to move houses. I didn't feel the need to furnish my house, as in I was in no hurry.
Wow.
And so with time, what Dolly did, she started asking me, what are you doing with your money? And it was just a general conversation. She just took interest. And when I was hired, we were actually in the same, maybe a week later, another person who was my age mate came. Another week later, another two. So the demographic lowered. So then I think she saw the trend that these people are coming who are younger. So she started asking us in the informal, because we always used to have chicken in the kitchen every Friday. We used to be offered lunch. So the lunchtime was the...
Things changed.
I know. Yeah, good food. So those lunch conversations were live conversations. And so in those live conversations, other things would come up. Then I think she saw the need to make us save. Then a circle was introduced, something like that. I don't remember the full order. So then we were enrolled in a circle, and she made all of us join the circle. While being in HP, now this is 2008, and when coming to the end, remember I'd said I had met my husband in PayNet. At the time, I just met him as in nothing, because even when we met, I was dating and all. But then at this time when I've left, we've become closer. First, I've been single for like a year or something. Then we become closer, and then he sat me down, and the other thing I had written in my list, I had told God, I want to know who my husband is this year. I'm not saying
we get married,
but I do not want to date anyone. Even though it is 5 years from now, it is fine.
Yani you let go, eh?
Yes, I let go. I was only asking, I just wanted to know who it is. So I don't waste energy and all, my heart gets broken. No, I just tell me who it is. Once you reveal who it is. And then I wrote and I said, and for me to know these are the words he should come with.
Man, are you telling me you can talk to God like that?
No, I'm very specific with my God. So that there is no confusion. So there is clarity, extreme clarity. So that if I'm choosing to disobey, I know I am disobeying. Yes. And And the exact thing I did say is the exact way he came.
And he doesn't know he's coming?
No, he doesn't know.
How are you when he said those words, whatever words they were?
You know, I went into a conversation, even he doesn't know this. Remember, I'm a student leader.
Yeah.
Remember, I can see the potential of the different men and everything, as in there are. And I'm a friend to, just friends. They're good friends.
Yes.
Now, after he told me after he came and said, I went now into a conversation with God. You know, he says, come, let us reason together. I told him, help me understand why him. Why not this one? Why not this one? Why not this one? I need to know. So that my reason is not because God said. I needed to break it down for me. And that Richie, he did for me.
Okay, just one thing. Like, give me an example of one thing he said.
No, I wouldn't.
That's
your personal
relationship. Yes. I get it.
Yes.
But it left you with no doubt that this is your husband. Yes. And this guy here has no idea.
But what I can tell you, what God told me is, and that's the other worry I used to have. I'm like, now you and I have walked this closely together. And I'm not married yet. The person you bring me, will he understand the relationship me and you have?
I get it. I get that.
So the one thing I can say is, what God told me is, this one I can work with.
Wow.
As in, yeah.
Do you know, Kendi, your CTA has gems from so many different places. I know, especially for women, at a certain age, a certain pressure falls for getting married. But you've just given a formula that is so unconventional, which is walk with God and ask God. And somehow the woman always knows before the dude, for the dude catches on.
Yeah.
So were you startled?
I wasn't, because we were tight.
Okay.
We were tight. If the car broke, because now there's a car. If the car needed fixing, his own was available to fix it. Yeah, but he used to play rugby. In fact, that's why he was in the national team. So then I'm like, now this rugby, you know God,
it doesn't feel so Jesus-y.
Yeah, that and surely now I'll be going to watch games. Though I went
did you meet Rina at those games?
No, I didn't, not at the time.
Because when her husband was in.
No, not at the time, but we met shortly after.
Oh, but
because we were, yeah, of course. She's a good. I could say she's a good friend.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
So such hilarious.
And our husbands are actually very good friends. They knew each other from the rugby circle.
Oh, this is insane.
Yeah.
What were you doing at HP? What's your job description?
My job description, let me tell you what I was told when we went for the kickoff. I was the CEO of the software business for HP in East Africa.
Huh?
Meaning, I managed a portfolio of software. You know, you didn't even know HP did software.
No.
Yes. So it was my responsibility to educate the corporates that HP is also a software company, to come up with a strategy for how to make sure HP succeeds in the market from a software space, and to get partners to work with.
Kendi, you're 28.
I know. You know, I think of this, I'm like, you guys, you had so much faith. I don't even understand it. I would not have had myself. they had so much faith.
I'm listening to that. I'm like, what on?
Imagine me hiring myself. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But who's God? I'm there.
Yeah.
And 7 months after I joined, actually, the full of Africa team was retrenched because of not performance. I'm the only one who remained.
What?
Yes. I think 7 or 9 months. Yes.
So meaning you are delivering out of this world?
Yes. Meaning God showed up with me. He gave me wisdom to the end.
Yeah. Your story. By the way, I understand why you introduced yourself the way you did.
Yeah.
Because now I can't separate God from you.
Yeah. Kendi does not exist without God. Who am I without God?
What? Okay, so you start working. I'm hearing about Dolly and her influence on you, youngins.
On us youngins.
Yes.
So that relationship starts. It's a continuous.
And Dolly is older than you?
Yeah, she's an older sister. So what is most interesting, and this I realized when I was mourning the late Halima. And this was the workplace, because this is where I spent most of my time. In Paynet, God gave me Halima as my big sister to work with me, to grow spiritually. In HP, God gave me Dolly as my big sister. As in, it was a baton, it was handing. In fact, when Halima passed on, and I was trying to explain to Dolly, who we are very close to date, when I was trying to explain to her what it means to lose Halima for me, I told her the baton was taken from Halima to you in terms of walking with me, because God shows up through people. He needs to give you people around you who help fulfill the purpose for which he's created. For me, in Paynet as a young girl, that was Halima. When I joined HP, that was Dolly.
And what I'm also hearing, you're not looking for them. It's like he's bringing them.
It just comes. It's just a connection that's going on. So then 2009, I should say, I told you about the travel. I joined in like, let's say, 30th of June. In October, I went to Las Vegas for a kickoff. This was work, as in I went to the US. In December, I went to Barcelona, or was it Austria? And at some point, I went to Morocco. So what I had asked God to do for me, that he did. As in the full list of that, what he had put in me to write down as the desires of my heart, which he had put in my heart.
That is powerful.
He delivered.
So, somebody can stop this city and ask God and just start writing a list. But there's something you said before this that stuck into my mind. You had emptied yourself completely and surrendered, that you then knew that every passion or will that you want, you already know it's him giving it to you. Therefore, it is him who has to fulfill it.
Yes, and I'll tell you, remember when I said September, I fasted like most of it, the 3 days per week. The last weekend, which was me closing off the fast, Resurrection Garden, which was a retreat center, we would go as Mavuno and everything.
Yep.
Now they've made the road. Before they hadn't made the road.
The one in Karen.
The one in Karen.
Yep.
And they would leave you by is it Agoreti Road? That road. On one of the days, now to go seal off and say, this is the last day I am asking or mourning, and I feel the permission you've given me for me to go ahead. I went, I took a matatu, the Dago matatus. It dropped me at the Resurrection Garden. But we used to go to the Resurrection Garden, but then they used to give us transport. As in, we used to...
No, that's not the one in Karen, eh?
It's the one in Karen.
It's the one in Karen, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Mavuno used to give us the buses or something. We would go or people would drive and they would drop us there. This one I told God, Jacob to Israel, Saul to Paul, it is me and you. I'm getting into this matatu as Jacob. I'm getting into this matatu as Saul. By the time I walk that dusty road and it is a long one, I think it's 2 kilometers or something. And I pray, it is my Damascus walk. By the time I walk back, I am coming back a different person. So I'm telling you that to tell you, the foundation, he had worked on me.
I get it.
Yes.
Oh, man. The only reason as to why I interject sometimes, people can do what it is that you're doing expecting the same results, but they have to remember the beginning. Do you get what I mean?
That's what I have a pastor who says, sometimes without,
Yes, exactly. So they have to remember, yes, you've done these lists, but it was...
guided of God. Yes, it is led. It is led of God.
Yeah, I don't want people to say, God doesn't answer me. God is, yes, he cannot.
He answers everyone, actually. If you
sometimes it's no, sometimes yes, sometimes it's chill. Anyway, let's go on with this story. So, what's work like? What's work like at this time?
Suddenly I have a traveling job. Suddenly, in fact, it sort of stressed me.
Parents, Polly, I'm just like...
No, they were my dad, Kwanza. You can imagine my dad. As in, I'm living his dream. And maybe that is, as he started this thing before me, this would have been him. I am living his dream. I am staying, at the time it was Kempinski. I'm going to the same Dar. The last time I went to Dar es Salaam, it was via the road, a 16-hour bus. This time I'm going to Dar es Salaam. I am being waited on at the airport in a VIP car, being taken to Kempinski, which is a 5-star hotel. At the time it was Kempinski, then it turned to Hyatt and all of those. As in, the exposure was madness.
And what is this doing for you?
It's encouraging me, because I'm like, which God is this? As in, my God, I know you're my God, but surely. And then you remember the prophecy that has been given that he'll do a big thing. So me, I'm like, this is the big thing.
Yeah. You're not even expecting more. You're like, I've arrived.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is the big thing. But then we continue. And just show up.
This big thing is even bigger than what you could have hoped and imagined, or even what you asked for.
Yes. When I'm telling you the full Africa team was restructured, they called the Africa team to Dubai, because that's where the leadership used to stay. And I'm the only one who left that room with a job.
Wow.
Because they were reviewing the numbers. But yeah. And this is a job that, but what I love, Richie, I find the word very practical. You see, I think it's in Psalm 18, where it says, he teaches me for battle. He prepares my arms for battle. In reference to, he skills me to do what I need to do.
Yes.
So as long as God is sending me,
he has equipped you completely.
He's equipped me. And if he hasn't, he will give me someone to equip me in there. And that's what he's done consistently. I just go with an open learning heart.
From a work perspective, what happens did you bang on doors that were not opening?
Yeah, it was, you see what happened. Selling was not easy.
Yes.
And it was software. I was introducing software in the market. It was not easy. So it's not like I was closing the numbers. But what I was doing, I was reporting consistently on the truth about the market. I did not misrepresent. I just said as it is. If I went and met a customer in Tanzania, in Uganda, in Kenya, I would go and tell them, this is where we are, this is what is needed, this is the support I need. When they came to the market, they would see the exact same thing I have reported. So then, you see, what would happen is, from a bigger strategy perspective, they would know how to best support the market.
Yes.
Yes.
So sometimes it's not just about saying, we've sold all of this and making up numbers.
Yes.
It's giving them an honest perspective so that they can penetrate that market.
Correct. And I needed that, because that is exactly what taught me and brought me throughout, even up to now. I represent the reality as it is. I have a thing I say bad news sooner.
Kendi, this is so good.
If the deal is not coming, if I don't know what has happened, that I want to hear even now. Even now as I work with the team, I want it sooner. You can sit on the good news. We can celebrate tomorrow. But the bad news, I want to know. Because that's the only way I can manage upwards. Yeah.
What about, okay, now is the first time that you're dealing with different cultures.
Correct.
So you're talking about Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya.
Yes.
3 different markets.
And bosses who are Moroccan, Lebanese. Yeah.
Okay, explain to me dealing with that. What are the different dynamics you faced? Remember, this is not also a Christian environment where they're telling you, oh, please, let's hold our hand and pray to Jesus that we get. It is.
It is not. When I got there, the other conversation I had with God, because now God had delivered this, the other conversation I had with God, I told him, remember that degree? Can we sort that out? Can you show me? Because I left. Can we sort that out? So pack that. The difficulty of the culture, it was so hard. Sometimes, that Las Vegas, remember there was a local MD, the late Ken Boya. Ken Boya was amazing. I would call him, when I went to see Ken Boya on one of the times, actually when he was interviewing me, it happened to be a Tuesday and there used to be Tuesday prayers. But I have never hidden that I love Jesus. And so when I was done, because I was seeing him, I think at 5, and the conversation was very short, it was a 15, I thought it would go 5 to 6, and prayers used to start at 6. So when it went for 15 minutes, he told me, no, it's just I just want to be sure that you're a person. As in, I'm supposed to confirm that you're indeed legit before we onboard you to HP Global and everything. And we had a conversation. Then when we were done, I excessively woke up and I said, that's it. I can make it to church. He looked at me. He told me, sit. What do you mean you can make it to church? I'm like, no, I usually go for Tuesday prayers. As in, now I got into my moment to tell him. He was so amazed. We started talking Bible there and then. So the reason I'm giving you that context, when now I'm in Las Vegas and I'm frustrated with the other bosses from different cultures who don't understand maybe the dynamics of the market and everything.
Yes.
The person I would call, that time I'm in Las Vegas, I am crying in the hotel room because of how stressed I am.
Yep.
It is Ken Boy. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I don't know if I quit or what. He would remind me, who sent you for this assignment? You stay there, you learn. What's ahead is bigger. As in, so even he constantly just, so there were hard times. There were hard times.
There's something you've said about, first of all, not hiding your faith. Number two, reporting the truth. I think that one for me is like a huge light bulb. How do you deal with different cultures in terms of selling your products?
It's understanding the cultural concept or the cultural context, actually.
You had not been to UG before.
No.
You need to penetrate that market.
Yes.
Let's use a practical example.
The good thing is, the first thing, I needed to identify the channel, which is the partners who are Ugandans, who bridge the lack of my understanding of the local context. So then I have to work with the local companies who help me understand what can work in Uganda, what cannot work in Uganda. So then I have to trust their model and their advice. And what that happens when I trust, then they also trust that I have their back, or that I have their interest at heart.
Yes.
So then it becomes a very symbiotic relationship. Then that way they also transfer of trust, the trust they have with their customers to me. So then when I meet the customers receive me as a person they trust.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to skip this one. You guys need to watch her class in session. But you are so, like, what you've said there is so crucial, because the hardest thing, Kenyans trying to penetrate a market that isn't as advanced, it is, but I know mentality. You get, I'm coming to impose my products, my services, my goods to you. And therefore, they don't even trust that these people know better about their market. They're like, I know. Or even sometimes when Westerners come to Africa, they come with that same mentality. And we then again don't transfer. So what you've said there about the trust transfer, the hardest thing is you giving the trust, even though...
Yes. Because they've not proven anything. As in, I'm just riding. And if I show goodwill, just the assumption, first that I'm like, if you play me, do you know who my father is? He will deal with you. As in, so if I come there, and in this case, I walk into a room knowing my ultimate father. So I want a godfather. My godfather is God in heaven. Okay. So if you come and try to play dirty with me, that's not my battle to fight. He will fight it. So I bring that in, but then I have to show goodwill first. And when I show goodwill, that goodwill it's reciprocated.
Second question, and then we can transition a bit. Kendi, now in this position, you're probably the only female?
No, at least the ones who came later were female.
Okay.
There was a good mix. HP we had a good female, male.
But when you'd go to...
Oh yeah, you mean to customers, yes.
When you're going to... In HP, yes, you're a mix of equality and diversity.
Yes.
But however...
in the market, not.
In the market, you are a female.
Yes.
You're probably the youngest person these guys have talked to, talking to people your father's age and trying to convince them. And again, you're from a different region.
Correct.
Those are already three things against you. How do you, I don't want to say work the market, but yes, how do you then get the acceptance for then you to penetrate? How was it?
It wasn't easy. But then relying on the local partners, on the people, riding on someone else's bit, it wasn't easy. But then just going in with that open heart, like you said, the open bit of I'm here to learn. Help me understand. And then what I realized very quickly is, let me understand what problem am I helping you solve. Then if I understand what are your KPIs? What are you measured against? What do you care about? When I understand what you care about and what I'm helping you solve, so there is you as a person, but then there's also the company. So if I help you connect the dots between what you want with what the company wants, which means you will excel, then you excel, I excel.
But that also means that you need to talk to people.
Yeah.
And not talk to people from a walled up perspective. You need to break the wall.
Correct.
A place like Tanzania, for example, Kenyans already enter with, they're already very walled up to Kenyans, and rightfully so. My Tanzanian brothers, I understand. Kenyans can be a bit aggressive, or the difference of the dynamics of culture. So for you to penetrate now a market like Tanzania, did you have to...
like you're not allowed to show your legs if you go to, I don't know about now, but at the time we're not allowed to show our legs when you go to a government office. Otherwise they'd give you a lesson. But I dress decently. You know, some of those things, respecting the culture, just integrating, because it shows up in every aspect. Yeah.
Last one, working with now your superiors.
Yes.
Your boss in Kenya. The boss in Kenya was nice.
He was actually not my boss. He was just the figurehead for the. Yeah.
So you were reporting to the boss?
Yes, I was reporting to Dubai.
Did your previous job working with a foreigner sort of
prepare me,
give you a leg up?
It did actually. It helped. Yeah.
But now this is different culture. We're talking about the
This is different because this is the Arabic Mediterranean culture, and then this other one is
okay,
the Western culture.
For more of that, go and check out her. Thank you so much for sharing that. I don't want us to dwell too much on this, but thank you just for making me understand. Find God has put you into the what I'm trying to paint in the picture
is the practical.
He has put you into this position. He has given you this amount of nice chums, but now you're working more than you have ever worked. It is a place that you had no experience even. Okay, so let's then talk about this 2028 transition into where the story goes next.
So so 2008. So he comes. My husband, he comes and says the words. Then shortly, that was in August, he says those words and I'm like, oh, he's really the one. So we have the conversation with God. Then in October, he officially asks me to be...
he proposes?
Yeah, to be his girlfriend.
Oh, his girlfriend?
Yes, of 2008. We were not dating. We were just friends at the time.
But you've seen your husband?
Yes, I know. But he also, when he came to talk to me, because some of the words he said is like,